In 2025, Netflix made one of its boldest moves yet, a $5 billion deal to stream WWE
On
Raw.
April 1st, WWE has a brand new home.
The pioneer of on-demand entertainment is now betting big on live content, a sign that the streaming war has entered its next phase.
Are you ready?
Disney is merging platforms.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus come to life on all your screens with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus.
Prime Video is buying sports rights and entire studios.
Prime is back. It's on.
Everyone's making deals after deals, trying to keep you watching just a few minutes longer. But this isn't just business, it's culture. When Elon Musk tweets, "Cancel Netflix for the health of your kids," it's not just noise. It's proof that streaming platforms now shape what people think, feel, and believe. That's why it matters who actually wins here. Yet while the giants fight for survival, someone else is already winning. YouTube, quietly pulling in more watch hours than every streaming service combined. No billion-dollar mergers. No franchise wars, just pure attention. And it's eating everyone alive. Billions of screens, hundreds of platforms. One question remains. Who's really winning the streaming war? To figure out who will win the streaming war, we must rewind the clock past the internet itself. In the mid-20th century, television ruled every home. Families would gather around a single screen, waiting for the day's only show to begin. There were no rewinds, no replays. Television wasn't a choice, it was a schedule, and if you missed it, it was gone. Then came the 80s, the age of cable. The availability of cable turned television from a rare luxury to essentials. Dozens of channels flooded living rooms, from news to sports to late-night movies. Every household had a TV, and every family had a favourite channel. But with more choice came a new kind of pain. Expensive cable bills, long advertisements and endless reruns. That's when the internet quietly entered the picture. In the 1990s, it was at slow place for emails and chat rooms. But it hinted at something extraordinary, the possibility of direct access. Among the companies experimenting with this new medium was a small startup from California, Netflix. Founded in 1997 by Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph, it started by renting and selling DVDs online, letting people order movies from home instead of driving to a rental store. It was a simple idea. Netflix was fast, fair, and friendly, and audiences loved it. But along with legal services of Netflix, something else was building chaos: piracy. In the early 2000s, websites like Pirate Bay, LimeWire made entertainment completely free for everyone. Illegal downloads exploded across the world. People could finally watch what they wanted, when they wanted. Billions of dollars were lost by media companies because of these piracy websites. Then, in 2008, a quiet revolution in music confirmed the future. Spotify launched by Daniel Ek in Sweden and showed the world that streaming wasn't just possible, it could be profitable. Instead of downloading songs, people could play them instantly, legally and seamlessly. The piracy problem didn't vanish. It evolved. The world had tasted the power of streaming, and there was no going back. Netflix watched and learned. And soon, Netflix transformed this time into a full-fledged online streaming platform. It started buying film rights, building partnerships. What began as a DVD mail service was about to become the foundation of the modern entertainment industry. In 2013, Netflix, with already 25 million subscribers, released its first ever original series, House of Cards. It wasn't just a show, it was a statement. Until then, Netflix had relied on licensing films and series from traditional studios. But the moment those studios realised the threat, they started pulling their catalogues back. Netflix's survival depended on owning its own stories. The success of House of Cards was a massive hit and doubled the Netflix users in a year, followed by Orange is the New Black and Stranger Things, proved that streaming platforms could do more than distribute. They could create. Netflix worked on the subscription model, where viewers paid a flat monthly fee for unlimited access, and the platform controlled everything from production to distribution. While Netflix was building its empire, another player was ready to challenge it: Amazon. Jeff Bezos had originally launched its video service under the name Amazon Unbox in 2006, later rebranded as Amazon Instant Video in 2011, and finally as Prime Video in 2015. Amazon followed a hybrid model, offering both pay-per-view rentals and a subscription-based streaming service bundled with its Prime membership. For Amazon, streaming wasn't just about entertainment, it was about loyalty. The more you watched, the less likely you were to cancel Prime. Hulu, another competitor, entered the scene in 2007, founded by NBC Universal, News Corporation, and later joined by Disney. Unlike Netflix's binge-watch model, Hulu offered a catch-up TV experience, new episodes from network television just a day after airing. It was the digital evolution of traditional broadcasting, mixing subscriptions with ad-supported tiers. By 2015, streaming wasn't just disrupting TV, it was dismantling it. Cable subscriptions started to fall year after year. Between 2013 and 2018, over 10 million American households cut the cord entirely. The power had shifted, from broadcasters to platforms, from networks to algorithms. Netflix, Amazon, Hulu created shows after shows and bought movies after movies, but then, in November 2019, the giant finally awoke. Disney Plus launched with one of the strongest content arsenals in history: Marvel, Pixar, National Geographic, and the entire Star Wars universe. Within just 16 months, Disney Plus surpassed 100 million subscribers. On the other hand, in May 2020, Warner Media launched HBO Max, merging the prestige of HBO's legacy shows, Game of Thrones, The Sopranos, Succession, with Warner Bros.' vast film library. HBO Max entered the market with premium pricing, positioning itself not as another streaming app, but as the home of cinematic television. By the early 2020s, the streaming landscape had solidified into an arms race. Netflix was pouring over $17 billion annually into original content. Amazon and Disney were matching the pace with their own mega franchises. Every platform adopted its own model: subscription, hybrid, or ad-supported, all chasing the same thing: attention. But as more players entered the field, one truth became unavoidable. The freedom streaming once promised was beginning to splinter. Around 2023, the golden age of streaming had begun to crack. Netflix, once the cheap alternative to cable, raised its monthly plans again and again. In 2024, it hiked rates in major markets by nearly 25%, while Disney Plus increased prices by 30% and introduced separate fees for ad-free viewing. The promise of affordable entertainment for everyone was fading fast. Then came the password bans. For years, sharing your Netflix login with friends or family was an unspoken part of the culture, something the company itself had once joked about on Twitter. But in 2023, that all changed. Netflix began charging extra for out-of-household viewers, sparking outrage worldwide. Within months, Disney and other platforms followed the same path. At the same time, platforms began quietly removing content.
What'd you do?
Not because of licensing issues, but to save on residual payments. Entire shows vanished overnight from Disney Plus, HBO Max, and Paramount Plus. Completed films like Batgirl were cancelled before release, written off as tax decisions. For creators, it was a betrayal. For audiences, it was a shock. The content they thought they had was never really theirs. Then came the ads. The same companies that once promised ad-free viewing rolled out new cheaper tiers. Only cheaper if you were willing to sit through interruptions. Netflix, Hulu, and Disney Plus flooded their streams with targeted ads, mid-roll breaks, and sponsored integrations. It was cable TV 2.0, just rebranded with algorithms.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We're back. Clap.
Meanwhile, another shift was happening quietly: content manipulation. Political documentaries were pulled in some countries, scenes edited in others, and algorithmic recommendations started reflecting not just preferences, but profit motives. audiences began to suspect they were no longer watching by choice, but by design. By 2025, the average household subscribed to 5 or more streaming services, paying more than ever before, and still missing shows locked behind another paywall. The dream of everything in one place was dead. Frustration was back. And somewhere in the middle of this chaos, one platform stood untouched: YouTube. Free, infinite, and everywhere. While others fought for subscriptions, YouTube fought for attention and was winning. YouTube has the most viewing hours, as compared to any other streaming platform. The level of videos and production on YouTube have increased massively as compared to before. But that was not it. In 2025, Reddit threads and Discord servers started buzzing with familiar links. The once dormant torrent icons returned to desktops.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
As frustration with streaming grew, the cracks turned into exits. Millions quietly slipped out of the paid platforms, not back to cable, but into something older: piracy. Piracy has evolved silently. The pirates of the early 2000s waited hours for downloads to finish, juggling corrupted files and broken links. Today, the new generation doesn't download anything. They stream. Websites that once hosted torrents now operate as full-fledged platforms. Clean interfaces, 4K quality. Names like YTS, RARBG, and 1337X are whispered again. Not just by tech-savvy users, but by everyday viewers tired of chasing subscriptions. Mirrors appear overnight, vanish, and reappear elsewhere within hours. Telegram channels and Discord servers share instant links to the latest releases. Entire movie libraries live on cloud drives, indexed and searchable, accessible in seconds. By 2025, analysts began noticing a troubling trend. Global visits to piracy streaming domains had surged by more than 40% year over year. Meanwhile, the big platforms, Netflix, Disney+, Prime Video, all reported declining engagement in key markets. People were tired of jumping between apps, fighting logins, and losing access to shows they'd already paid for. The pirates had rebuilt everything streaming had taken away: choice, accessibility, and freedom. But without the rules, the irony was painful. Users weren't rejecting entertainment, they were rejecting its keepers. But perhaps this isn't the final stage of the story, because even as piracy surges, something else is forming on the horizon. A world where streaming, hardware, and reality itself begin to merge. In 2025, Meta unveiled its next generation of Ray-Ban smart glasses, capable of recording, live streaming, and projecting digital overlays right in front of your eyes. Apple introduced the Vision Pro, promising immersive virtual cinemas and interactive storytelling. They are new portals. The next war for attention may not happen on a television or a phone at all, but inside a headset, on your face, in your field of vision. Maybe the streaming war was never about who controls your screen. Maybe it was about who controls your reality. The streaming war is far from over. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to know where you think this is all heading. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget subscribing to the channel. It really helps us bring more stories like